Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on WINN Media 98.9.
Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem, featuring Jade Johnson. I was nice today.
Hey, what's going on? Good morning, people.
Morning. Jade look like she having a meltdown. I don't know.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Aren't we all?
I'm still okay.
No, watch here. I have been for some time now practicing the art of stoicism. I'm tempering my emotional responses. It has served me well most times until I just like bubble up and burst with all the emotions that I've been hiding, and then it'll be bad.
Yeah.
Well, but it is time to jump into Cross Caribbean Link Up, and then we'll go from there.
Our friends and Seagull are ready for us.
Very strong impression. Good morning, welcome.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hi. Good morning. How you all doing?
We're okay. Good morning, Miss.
Yeah.
But we don't want
Are
to
you all hearing
mispronounce
me
your
well? I
name.
just need to know that my audio is fine.
Yes. Well, I'm hearing you okay.
Ooh, look at you. Come on. You did not tell me that this is what you look like.
Oh.
That was going on.
What?
Slim guard to work.
Yes.
Should I turn the camera off?
No, this is not scary at all. I'm enjoying looking at you with a cup of coffee. So keep the camera on.
Thank you.
This is matchmaker. Just before.
No. I think I'm too old for Kevon, but I'm not too old to enjoy iFood. And nobody's ever too old to enjoy some iFood.
What you saying?
And no one can say it more interestingly than a Trinidadian. That accent, it gets
No, I think this is the first time I'm actually getting to see any of the guys that I'm interviewed by. So it's just nice to see what you look like. So, good morning from the southern end of the Caribbean.
Right. Let me first ask, Rhoda, before you open the button and we're going to sort things out, I just want to find out if my friends in St Kitts can hear me clearly.
Yes.
We can.
Without distortions.
We didn't say that.
But is it better?
Yeah, it's a bit better today. Appreciate it.
Right. We worked on, we tried to work on something. Well, let me not say weak, as if I did anything. So none other than Andre Dyer, who's the technical director. He did do some tweaking, so we'll try and refine it as we go along.
Awesome.
All right. So with all the technical mumbo jumbo and all the appreciation of our appearances and so on, Rhoda, how are things? How are things? You are about to open the baton, so to speak.
Things are on my end, me specifically, personally, my household, things are fine. At the community end, the wider nation, things are not as fine as they could be, should be, or would have been a couple months ago. The last time we spoke to each other, our infection rate and our number of deaths, the death toll with respect to the pandemic specifically, was much lower than it is right now, much better contained. But we've experienced, I think this would be our second wave, we've experienced an explosive second wave here that has caused a lot of concern, a lot of panic, a lot of fear, not just at the level of the population, but I would say also at the level of the health professionals, because there's been a particular tone of urgency at the press conferences that are done on a regular basis here that indicate the health professionals themselves are pretty concerned about what is taking place.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And
so
yeah.
let me see if I can pull up, because I have data. When I say I have data, I've got information on the phone, just to give you a sense of what our numbers are like.
While you look for that, Rhoda, I gotta tell you, you're getting some reaction, right?
I am?
Yeah, the iFood part, you've gotten some folks excited.
Yeah, no. Have they looked at Kevon? Kevon is...
Somebody asked me, where find that Trinidad? She's something else.
Ooh, no. Kevon is something. Kevon is quite the thing to look at first thing in the morning. So
Kevon in trouble with
no. We're thousands of miles apart, different island, etc. And further to that, I don't think I'm wrong in saying that I'm significantly older than Kevon. So no, he's safe.
Right.
So let me give you the figures.
Kevon, you're safe.
Yesterday,
if you see his face.
Every day at 4 p.m. the Ministry of Health puts out a notice, right, to give an update on what's going on with the pandemic. So this would have been update number 730. So it essentially is 730 times they've put these updates out. So we have total active positive cases. This is yesterday's data. 6,998 active positive cases. 558 new cases yesterday. So yesterday evening, with the testing that had been done over a 24-hour period, we would have had 558 new cases reported. And there was, I think, 10 deaths yesterday. So we are now up to 341 deaths. And if we continue at the rate we've been going, because we've had days where we've had as many as 23 deaths.
Oh my gosh.
In a day. Yeah, we've had some really sobering numbers coming in. And we've gotten to the point where there'd be days with no deaths at all, long stretches of periods with no deaths. When we saw one death for the day, we would be upset, irritated, wanting to know what foolishness went on here. Now we are at the point where we've hit, I think the highest number we've had thus far is 23 deaths. And we went from being under 100 deaths now to 341 deaths. And if it continues this way for the next couple of weeks, because I would say we've been on average getting about 10 deaths a day, right? If it continues this way, we could see ourselves heading towards that 400 and then 500 death mark, which is it's not a good thing at all. So I think right now our death rate is a little under two persons per, whatever is the larger figure. So it's pretty close to what is happening globally, which is not a good thing for a small island such as ours.
Right.
And I'm sure the next question you want to ask is what would have led to this? Is that the next question, or should I wait for the next question?
Well, that's what I want to know. That's what I'm curious to find out, actually.
There's a series of things, there are a number of things. If I had to put it down under one response, I would say a lack of individual responsibility. So we went through a phase where we were very strict. People would have been adhering to the precautions and all of the guidelines. And then we got to a point where persons started to get fed up, tired. I guess COVID fatigue is what you could call it. And then, trainees being trainees, there were lots of persons who were trying to find ways to circumvent the health regulations. And so you were not meant to have parties, but people were finding ways to have underground parties. You weren't supposed to have events you weren't supposed to have any social gathering above a particular number. So let's say no more than 10 or 15 persons at a wedding. People would then decide to hold the weddings on their private properties. And so they have a big wedding event on their private property.
Oh,
and
no.
On the private property where they're having these wedding events, because there's no police there, of course, the protocols, they're not following the masking and distancing protocols, right? Let me tell you what else. There were a number of private events, private parties, private events. There were also some public events. A young lady there was a very distressing murder that took place at the end of January. And there were a group of activists who decided that they were going to hold nightly vigils across the country. So village after town after town after town, village after village after village, they were holding these vigils. And there was very little observation. People weren't observing the protocols either. So you'd see images and video coming out of the vigils where persons weren't masking. They were certainly not observing physical distancing. And you began to see the numbers rising. So I would say the vigils were one of the first things towards the end of January, early February. That's when those vigils started and when they picked up pace. Then from that, you started to see people looking to have very quiet carnival-related events that they ought not to have had. And weddings, birthday parties, things on private property where they weren't observing health protocols, and you started to see the numbers increase. Now, the interesting thing is, because we do these health press conferences 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Each of those health press conferences, the person who's the director of epidemiology would come on and he'd be talking about what the numbers were saying in the neighborhoods and communities where you were seeing the spikes and the increases, where you were seeing increased cases. And for some reason, the population was not taking it on. Just give me a second. I need to move away from some noise.
And the birds, they're beautiful.
Thank you. I am, like I said, I'm in a slightly remote area because I can't deal up with what the population carrying on with out in the city. But just let me know that you're hearing me properly.
Wise.
Yeah?
You just went to the mountains and just said,
that's the
forget
perfect
all the
solution.
people.
The birds are fantastic.
Yeah, because I'm
Right.
unlike other folks, I can work remotely. So all I really need is reliable electricity and reliable data, and I can work from wherever.
Yeah,
So I decided to come out into the countryside and out in the country, work from home in that way. So yes, so there was a lack of personal responsibility, and it was a communal lack of personal responsibility. So you had a wide range of persons just not following the guidelines the way they ought to have been following the guidelines, and this led to increased numbers. And now we're at the point where we have run out of hospital beds in the parallel healthcare system. I mean, the doctor who's responsible for that came on to the television last Saturday, and she said, well, we're at the point where we've run out of beds. And what we've been trying to do is ensure that persons that have COVID don't go into our mainstream healthcare system. And because we're trying to ensure that persons don't go into the mainstream healthcare system, we've set up a parallel healthcare system here, where some hospitals, all they're dealing with, all they're addressing is COVID infected patients. And I think about 800 beds allocated for that purpose. And 800 beds, of course, doesn't just mean the physical bed, it also means the equipment and the personnel to go with the bed.
Right.
And because our numbers have increased to the point that they have increased to, it means that we're now doing whole home quarantine, you get COVID and you're not at the point where you need to be on the ventilator. So the lying conditions, pre-existing particular area of danger, then you're going to be regulations or stipulations for how you quarantine at home. And because even with all of the numbers, people are still congregating and creating without wearing their masks properly. We're now under a state of emergency with a curfew. So only essential workers are allowed to be out, and there's a very complicated list of who are essential, who's not essential, when you can be out, when you can't be out, that sort of thing. So that's where we're at right now.
Are you on the list of essential?
I'm essential, yes, but I don't have to. I've been working from home since March last year.
Oh, fantastic.
Right.
As soon as we had our first patient, we had our first COVID patient around the 12th or 13th of March. The University of the West Indies went fully virtual. That's where I work. And so I've been working virtually since March of 2020.
Aren't you lucky?
Yes.
Yes.
I would say so.
Yes.
I think
so certainly with that backdrop, that soundtrack you have going on behind you, that I'm just enraptured, quite frankly. But that's just a lover. Yeah, and one of the things that I remember very fondly of Tobago in particular was the bird life. Oh, fantastic bird life! So
yeah, I am on the northeastern. I'm on the northeastern tip of the island, which is pretty close to Tobago.
Right. That explains it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That explains it.
Nice.
So, well, while we have, of course, we always like to know also what's going on over next door in St Kitts. Jade or Kevon or who else is there? Everybody's on the link?
Everybody's here today.
Oh,
yeah.
everybody's here today. All right. So, yeah, who's going to tell us what's going on in St Kitts?
Oh. Well, Kevon seems to be the man of the hour.
Things are not as going swimmingly as y'all like to brag and boast about every Friday.
Well, unfortunately, no. But for now, we're not in a bad place. But that can change at any moment. But what ended up happening was this week, I think it was it Wednesday night, the CMO announced that there was another COVID case, bringing our total to 46. It was only one active case. However, the situation with that one is that it was a local case with no travel history, which is not good. But we were then told that the person works in the hospitality industry. They work in housekeeping. But now the massive contact tracing begins because, they have to figure out how many persons that person were in contact with prior to the discovery. And last night they held another briefing where they disclosed that about 20 persons have been placed in quarantine to be monitored in connection to this 46 case. So I think it's sort of safe to say we might be on the brink of community spread, but we just have to wait and see what the next step is.
Fair enough. Rhoda, you have a question for our friends in St. Kitts, or for me for that matter?
Yes. Yeah, I do. When they announced that 46th case, that points to the possibility of community spread, what did your CMO suggest was going to be the new protocol? Because we went through, our first phase would have been, only persons who had traveled and had re-entered the country would have had COVID, right? So but when we hit community spread, that's when we began to, I think, panic here. When I say we, I'm talking about the wider population. That's when we started to think, okay, this thing might be serious, because if it's only persons who are coming in, once you travel into the country, you were quarantined for 2 weeks before you could go home. So now that there's a possibility of community spread, what are people's thoughts up the region?
Well, I think that the main thing that happened was they went right ahead and cancelled all approved events until further notice. That was the first thing, which was interesting here because we were heading into a holiday weekend where people were looking forward to going out and enjoying themselves.
There were a number of scheduled events.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we had, is Easter a big thing for you all? Because Easter is a big thing for us, of course, because there's a long weekend and there's nothing Trinis like more than a long weekend. When December 31st kicks in, we sit down and we mark out how many long weekends there are for the year coming up.
Right.
I have more than anyone.
We literally send that around to each other. Just look, it have a long weekend here, a long weekend there. So make sure and apply for your time or for your long weekends.
Yeah,
so we're very excited about long weekends.
Well,
and that Easter long weekend, I think that Easter long weekend made a significant contribution to our increase in cases.
Oh, well, we don't even know the names of the holidays that we are having.
We just know. We don't have to go work on
Just know
Monday.
it's a holiday.
We just know we don't go work on Monday, and that's all we need to know.
I think we're less interested in what the holiday is, and just excited about the fact that it is a holiday.
Yes.
Right. But one of the things that was interesting, they did hint that lockdown would be a last resort, but curfew may be an option depending on the situation as it develops. So right now they're doing the investigations, doing contact tracing, trying to avoid any other cases from complicating the problem even further. So we did I would say we went through phased restrictions here, because it would be week after week of new things being added to see how best people would respond to it and how best they would be able to cut down interaction. Because the major issue really with any restraints that are put in place is to cut down on how much gathering is taking place. Right. And when you have, it's a population of 1.4 million, and I think of that 1.1 million are adults. And you have 1.1 million adults who basically just want to do their own thing all the time and find workarounds and find ways to do all. So if you say to them, no eating in restaurants, you have to close the restaurants, then all of the restaurants are looking to do curbside services. And when you say, then you come out now and do another health regulation to say, no, not even curbside service. They are then using social media to quietly peddle their goods and tell people, well, if you need this, just let us know and we will do delivery to your home, blah, 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 right? I think now a lot of the restaurants that have been told they have to shut down, they're doing pre-packaged meals and selling the meals through groceries, which is fine because the groceries are allowed to sell. So they're selling frozen meals, right? Right.
In groceries. Okay. So that's one way in which they pivoted. And don't get me wrong, it is not that I don't understand the need for the business sector here to have to thrive, because of course, once you close these businesses for whether it's a couple of weeks or a month or 2 months, you are impacting on staff and employment and wages and how people are going to be living. So in the interim, the government has decided that just for the month of May, they're going to provide a salary relief grant or an income support grant, depending on if you are in the tax system or not in the tax system.
Right.
So persons who are suffering income loss for the month of May, because the new restrictions are only meant to apply for the month of May. Hopefully it doesn't go over into the month of June or July. But what I am clear on is that on Monday, there's going to be a debate in our parliament to extend the state of emergency to 3 months. So with a 3-month state of emergency, you're looking at ensuring that there is a curfew for the next 3 months. And I guess there will be other restrictions that they're gonna continue to keep in place. Perhaps the number of industries or sectors that are considered essential and non-essential. So who has to work from home and who is allowed to come out and work, because now people have to apply for a curfew pass to be able to be out of their homes after a particular time. Because there's certain sectors where it's multiple shifts you're working for the day.
Right.
So you're not just working during the daylight hours, you're also working at nighttime hours. And so people need to be able to move around without being stopped or harassed by the police service. So it will be interesting to see how it works out, because this is the first time in our history as a nation that we've had a curfew as a result of a disease. We had curfew in the 1970s, and that's because of the Black Power movement. We had a curfew in 1990 because of the attempt to overthrow the government, and then there was a curfew in 2011 because the government then said that it was under attack, and we're still not sure yet why that state of emergency was called.
That was Pandey.
No, that would have been Kamala.
I actually happened to be there. I actually happened to be there at that point. I went to a number of curfew parties. So I know what you're talking about.
Well, you know exactly. You know how it goes. You know how it goes with us, right? So 1970, 1990, 2011. 2011. 1970, 1990, 2011. But all of them would have been for national security issues, in quotation marks. This is the first time we're having a state of emergency called because of an infectious disease. So it's interesting to see how it's playing out, and the types of measures that are being put in place just to prevent a population from gathering and putting itself at risk, which for me is on the individual level to look at it. You're thinking to yourself, if a couple of years ago, if I said to somebody, you need to stay put in your house for 1 month to be able to ensure that you can live, it wouldn't occur to me that people would be incapable of staying put for a month or staying put for a couple of months in order to protect their lives. But now I'm finding out that I have friends that are against vaccines, which blows my mind. And now I'm finding out that I have friends that I know people that think that the virus isn't actually real. They think the virus is a conspiracy, and and it blows my mind. It thoroughly blows my mind. I have friends that are saying to me, if you get the vaccine, you will get 5G, and I had to ask, but isn't that a good thing? Because if you get 5G, it means that you have data for the rest of your life, and you could power all of your devices. And who wouldn't want to be able to power all of their devices with data? Like, who wouldn't?
Traveling data, you are the connection.
Or just something else.
Listen, can you imagine being able to travel to any part of the world and you have the best 5G data? Like,
your data travels with you.
Listen, exactly. I would be redefining a roaming plan. I would be redefining a roaming plan. Right? I would just go and set up in anywhere, just pretty much anywhere, and tell people, pay me for my 5G data. Right? It would be a source of income.
Yeah, your retirement plan would be sorted out.
It would be entirely sorted out. Entirely sorted out. You know how difficult? Do you know how difficult it is to have to pay for data when you travel to other parts of the world, or even when you end up in remote areas?
You get a little for a lot.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. So when I heard that, I had to make fun of it. I had to make light of it. I'm like, 5G. You are saying that this injection is going to give you 5G. Why would you not line up for an injection that gives you 5G? Why not?
Because they said that the government now
so we've had
over you.
Sorry, go ahead, Kevon. Sorry, go ahead.
I had a quick question. Has there been a number that has been presented of what this this May relief plan is going to cost? In that, if you lost your income from the start of May, you'll get $1,500 TT dollars. If you lost your income from around the 8th of May onwards, you get 1,000 TT dollars. And they are anticipating, I think the government is anticipating, because there's specific sectors that would have had to shut down for the month of May. And I think the numbers that they are anticipating would be around 30,000 persons being affected. So I guess, if you do the math of 30,000 by 1,500, that will tell you how many millions of dollars they're looking to spend where that is concerned. The other thing they've also done is they've prepared food baskets. The Ministry of Agriculture has been pretty much creating food baskets and giving it out
the constituency level. So we are made up of 41 constituencies electorally. So the MPs for each constituency, the members of parliament for each constituency, put forward a list of names, and they tend to know who the families that are in need in their constituencies. And thus far, each constituency, at first we were going to be giving out 600 food baskets per constituency, and last night I heard the Minister of Agriculture saying that they've doubled it now to 1,200 food baskets per constituency, and it's all local produce. So things that the farmers here are growing, as well as locally processed, locally raised and processed chickens. So that's what they're getting in their food baskets. So food baskets, income support relief. They're also for small businesses. There's some interest-free loans that they can apply for, just to kind of keep the business afloat for the month of May. And those are some of the initiatives that have been put in place.
All right. Listen, I could listen to you, Rhoda, for the next 2 hours. Honestly, it's been fantastic.
Agreed.
But we have to go because tomorrow is World Biodiversity Day, and I have our friends from the Department of the Environment and the Environmental Awareness Group coming up, and we have to go. Parting is such sweet sorrow, Rhoda.
Indeed.
Oh, that's all right, guys. We can always link up whenever you have a spare minute on a Friday morning. So take care and enjoy. Stay safe. So wear your mask, wash your hands, keep your distance. I don't want you all to get to the point where your CMO is saying we are out of hospital beds. Okay?
Oh. No, we don't want that. Thank you very much.
We're going to do our best.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Thank you so much, Rhoda.
Okay.
Right. That's
bye, guys.
Rhoda Barath out of the Republic.
And that was your cross-Caribbean link-up with Rhoda. And honestly, it's always giving us some great information coming out of Trinidad. It's kind of like a sad situation.
Yeah, man.
But
it's
unfortunately, we have to use some of these countries as examples of what can happen if things go south.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Trinidad is a living example of what happens when protocols aren't observed and people just do as they please. I mean, you hear this massive country that is struggling. What is our 55,000 population gonna do if we have to meet the same fate?
Listen, not with JNF, okay? We don't have currently the hospital isn't full, but we still
and
I don't think we can take an outbreak.
It's just a matter of limited resources.
The CMO also told us that yes, there's allocated beds for patients, but because they're allocated does not mean they need to be used. Like, let's just keep that in mind. Not because a bed is there for a COVID patient means we need to put a COVID patient on it.
I don't tell you.
Look, we just can't handle outbreak, people. Like we do not have the resources to handle a COVID outbreak. So let's just avoid it. Do what we can do.
And I really don't think it needs to come to the point where we see people sick, nationals sick in beds for us to be like, oh my God, so it's real?
No, actually, that's what it would take, because currently people still don't seem to grasp the seriousness of this because we've been so safe. We're literally safe, so the watch is because they're so desensitized to other things. They're watching other countries go through whatever, but
this is
this sense of safety here.
Yeah, one of the things, and I feel it happens even with like hurricanes and things, saying it's blessed. What that even mean?
So saying we're blessed means that others aren't.
Yes.
But not only that, we up to this point have not suffered in the same way others may have suffered. Does that mean that we shouldn't prepare or try and prevent when possible ending up in those same situations? No, it just means that we have opportunity. We don't have an excuse. We are able to see what's going on in other places and act accordingly to avoid ending up in the same situation. Hopefully that's what we're doing. And when I say we are talking about the population, Jade, we're not. But but you could see that there is some level of concern, because
when things are announced, that after that people just go back to being.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you see yesterday how the supermarkets looked.
Panic shop. What y'all was buying? What y'all was
toilet paper.
buying?
The toilet paper sweep begins again.
Bro, like seriously, what y'all was buying?
Toilet paper.
No, because if you, let's say you have, okay, for instance, I know some people who generally shop like on a Saturday. They get paid on Friday, they shop on a Saturday. So if an announcement coming for a curfew on the Thursday, like, you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah, but there was not a...
But you wouldn't know, Jade. This is the problem I had too. This was the problem. Once they announce an emergency briefing, the day after they tell us that there is a case, a local case.
Yeah, I should have did that way earlier.
Did what?
The briefing.
I don't understand what I mean.
Earlier than 5, I feel like, maybe if it was possible.
I think it just depends on when the information would have come and when people would have been able to watch. But what I'm saying is, when you have to understand where people would say, hey, we ain't sure what's happening, let's act. Because that's what we're telling people to do, really. We're telling people, hey, you understand possibilities, act accordingly. So me gonna knock people for going to the supermarket when they announce that there's an emergency briefing. You know what they're gonna say in emergency briefing, right?
See, we always come in here and talk about WhatsApp statuses and messages and stuff. Where did we get this information from? WhatsApp.
No, Jay, there was an actual emergency briefing.
No, not that one.
Which one?
All the rumors.
Prior to.
Oh, the rumors. Oh, well, yeah.
All the rumors from WhatsApp. Oh, it's going to be a curfew. We're going to shut down. Or you're going to shop now and.
Well, because the crazy part, prior to the briefing, I got like 10 messages. Oh, it's 30 cases, it's 7 cases, it's 6, and I'm just like.
Yeah, somebody says 27. But no, this is my point. My point is this. Like, because of the announcement of the emergency briefing, even if there were no rumors going around, it makes you wonder, okay, what I got to say?
You know what could help?
What is so urgent that it can't wait for the scheduled Tuesday briefings as usual?
But bear in mind, this is the day after they said there's a local case.
About to say, if they had knew that they were going to have an emergency briefing the next day, tell people that early, like when they have this briefing, say tomorrow we'll keep you updated with another briefing, so then you won't feel like something has happened.
Okay, I get that one.
Yeah.
No, we got to panic.
I think the problem is that. Yeah, they could have done that for sure. I think the problem is
I get that one for sure.
Yeah, I get that, and definitely. But I think the problem is that at that point they have no idea what tomorrow gonna bring. They have no idea. It doesn't
matter what.
No. That's what I'm saying. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Because I feel like just tell us, because then people ain't gonna panic that they already know it coming.
Mm-hmm.
So I know. I agree. The first one is sort of unplanned. You can't really plan when that happens, but you can say, okay, we will follow up with another emergency briefing to update you on the status. That way, when you hear next one come in, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, even if you don't say tomorrow we will have another one, just say in the near future we will have another emergency briefing to give you all an update on the situation that's happening.
Yeah. Just let us know what the schedule is for the updates.
Yeah, because then no people are gonna be, oh my God, the PM coming out.
Well, I mean,
fellow citizens.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I still have PTSD from the first lockdown. So every time I see or hear that the Prime Minister about to talk, I literally is pushed back to the first time.
Imagine that.
Boy.
I mean, the announcement was not that the PM gonna speak. You know there will be a PM's press conference. So I know it wasn't gonna be a lockdown, but
that's not one of the messages that you see how WhatsApp.
Okay, that one saying that the PM went off. Okay. Yeah. I didn't even get none of these. Like I get the only broadcasts I got were from like the regular people involved in media, like Pino, Molly, like that kind of yeah. But yeah, but it was interesting to see. I mean, my thing is better safe than sorry. I ain't knocking nobody. Like if you feel like, hey, if anything happen, I don't know if I'll be able to get off work tomorrow to go. I don't know. Like you do what you gotta do. Like.
But the other thing is, right? So one of my friends telling me only the Prime Minister or the Governor General could announce a lockdown. That's true.
But I know that's who does it.
So then if we see a message for a briefing, why would we assume that it's a lockdown?
I don't think...
He doesn't do briefings?
No, but one thing happening is you're saying that there was messages going around that he would speak.
Yeah, but I'm talking about people who got the message just about the emergency briefing.
Mm-hmm. I think what happened is, for me, I said it here yesterday. I said, I didn't think a lockdown was gonna come. I do believe that if there was a situation where there were several cases found, that we'd be looking at a curfew.
Yeah.
So I wasn't gonna be waiting to see what was gonna happen. I already know there was one case that said me was out in the public.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving me an emergency briefing, like, yeah, me sticking. Like, me knocking people for preparing. Like, not when we're telling them all the time to prepare. Like, me.
Yeah, but we have to also start stopping and thinking. Again,
But that's what they did, Jade.
You think so?
That's what I'm saying, Jade. If you tell me yesterday there was a case out in the public, you're telling me there's an emergency briefing.
I think people were panicking because they thought we were going on lockdown.
But the people don't know. That's what I'm saying. So if you don't know, what you gonna do? Ain't prepare.
And you see, the thing is, even those that
like the fact that only the Prime Minister or the Governor General can announce a lockdown, and then you see information about
Jade, you just learned that 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, but you see, there's
I just learned this 2 seconds ago. I said my friend reminded me.
There's also a situation of, the domino effect of panicking, because if we have to be honest, if a group of people start panic buying, it then puts the persons that think logically in a situation where they sit down and say, should we allow resources to be depleted by others that are panic buying, or should we get what we need so we have something? So even those that are thinking, rushing to get stuff because they're like, well, everything's about to be done and I don't want to be, the one left with the short end of the stick. So it's this,
like, to be honest, super
dynamic situation.
Yeah, because think about, and I'll tell you something. From the time I heard that there was one case, and it was somebody in the public who hadn't traveled and understood that meant there's a possibility of community spread, my mind went directly to, well, what we got in the house, directly, and it wasn't a matter of panicking. It's just a matter of I understand what the possibility is. Like, I've been here. Like, nobody, like, when the first set of lockdown came, like, nobody could have told me a month before that you could just lock down the country.
Why?
Yeah.
So I don't see it happen now. Like, so you mean like catch me again?
I just want, the only thing I really want to
and then we all, like I said, we saw a lot of people who got stuck in the lockdown in terms of they never went to panic buy and they were left locked in a house with nothing.
That happened to a lot of
people. Don't want to be in that situation again. And like I said, people watching supermarkets rampack, they're going to sit down and say, but if I have to wait for the crowd to disperse, what's going to be left? So they join the crowd.
And not only that, to be honest, I went to the store because I usually go to the store on Thursdays because I have a grape addiction. And Thursdays are the day I'm going to stock up on my grapes. So I did my usual grape shopping. And I don't know if I went, obviously I went early because the lines and so that I was seeing before, I didn't really experience that. But the people I saw that was in there was more than usual for sure. They weren't doing like the huge, like 2-cart shopping. Like I think people are getting like the essential. Like, let me go buy a bag of rice. Yeah, like.
So it wasn't like.
A lot of people
that's what I saw. I don't like. In other words, I didn't see like, oh my gosh, the shelves aren't stacked. However, like I said, I went early, so it could have been. It got to that point.
Because my other thing is the
fact that got to
that
point.
We creating clusters as well. Like, I know we're trying to get away from a disease, but in doing some of the things we do, we put ourselves at risk. Because if everybody rushing to the supermarket, some people are not even putting on the mask until they hit the door of the supermarket because they know they can't go inside with it. And if y'all in a whole crowd, like y'all possibly could make this worse.
Yeah, but at least it was with food.
Yeah, at least if I have to at least if I have to quarantine myself, I have stuff. That's what people thinking.
Yeah.
At least I'm homesick.
At least
with food.
Yeah, I got food. No, but really and truly, like I understand why people, and again, I think what Jade said is very important. Perhaps letting us know, like, expect an update. Boom, boom, bang. The other thing that was iffy for me yesterday, that had me watching them side eye. If the CMO came on, I was like, oh, we're getting the updates as we speak and so on. So I'm waiting for them to like tell us like, okay, well, so what updates? And then they were just like, all right, that's it for today. Like, let's try, come on and tell us good night. And I was like, wait, what happened?
Yeah,
you just
I
get results.
thought the same thing. Because
you just get results.
When they mention that we get an update as we speak, I'm like, okay, so something's coming. And a lot of people were sitting waiting for the something to come, and it was nothing. So,
like, why come up and tell us that we now have the information and then tell us good night?
What's the information? Can somebody please
tell us? They were getting the results of the test, sorry. As she spoke. So, yeah.
So then what happened after that?
I was just like,
so what are the results of the test?
So how much? Okay, we get back.
I think what was meant to be said is tests are being done as we speak.
No, bro. Like, she said that earlier, and then, like, I think it was during the question and answer time. Like, whatever, she mentioned that, like, we're getting the results, like, now. Like, the results are coming in now.
I only one or two things, It was one, but now I one or two. How many people did we test? And where she get corona from?
Well, that's the question I asked. That's the question I have been asking, and I don't even know if they know.
Which is safe to say, but
that is the question. That is the question, and I've been saying that since yesterday. Like, all these other things that people like worrying about.
Yeah, like
where she get corona from?
Like, if you,
I think what needs to be done
in May.
Is,
where did she get corona from?
Yeah. I think some more targeted statements need to be made, because people have the same questions for the last two briefings. And I think one of the largest questions is, where did she get COVID from? Now, I understand.
That was, I know.
Has been
first thing came to me,
trying.
But that was the first question.
They've been trying to keep identities private and everything. However, I feel like they need to, because it's also creating a panic in public, because people are now saying, something, where she get from. So that's a big question that people have. On top of that,
like the thing for me too. I remember initially, and I know this was early, but remember when there was a lot of the when there were a lot of cases on the cruise ships. Remember they had some issues with where some cruise ships were like just like wastelands of corona.
Can't do anything, just float.
I remember one of the reports that I saw was that they found the virus living in some of the rooms for some time after the people would have left the room. So I don't know if and apparently she was on the cleaning staff.
Yeah, I think she was a house cleaner.
Right, so there's a possibility of stuff like that happening.
Yeah, well, y'all sending around this woman picture. Like, y'all stressing out this woman. She already stressed out, right? Because now she may have crashed the country.
So there's a
let's address this portion.
For no fault of her own.
It's not like she went outside and was like, Corona, come get me.
Yeah.
You send him
I think it's an important thing to address.
Family picture around too?
And rumors, the amount of stories I got yesterday about this one woman, I'm like, come on, y'all stressing out this woman. Yeah, that's a bit much.
It's a bit overdone. But I think one of the big things we also need to address here is that people have been saying that, she was vaccinated. The CMO stated yesterday she was not vaccinated.
Who started this rumor?
Yeah, like let's just ease up. Like, y'all are doing the most.
Look,
I know everybody wants to be able to break the story and say that they get this scoop and let's be honest, your sources have been incorrect for a very long time.
Listen,
because everybody got a source that telling,
bro,
I know somebody and the source telling me this your source wasn't right.
Let me tell you something, right?
How many more times does your source need to be wrong for you to say, okay, maybe I just won't listen to your information?
Bro, no, like, you have to understand, certain things gonna resonate with people based on their biases.
Yeah,
we literally have somebody on the live right now stating that people have died in St Kitts from COVID. And if I ask them, how would they know?
Oh, my friend tell me so, like,
Oh, I know, yeah.
Yeah, like, literally, bro, like, this is the state of some people right now, yeah. Like I told you, I haven't.
No facts, no sources, no nothing. Just vibes.
A teacher tell me, a doctor tell me on the bus. I was coming on the bus and he had a nurse in the back, and the nurse tell me that they're hushing down everything and whatever. And my thing, they'll be like, to what end? Like, why? Just tell me why. Why would they do that?
Not only that, when people start to say things about like, the Prime Minister do this and the Prime Minister said this and the opposition said this and do this. How y'all does know these things? Like, where y'all does get this information from? And how come y'all does know?
WhatsApp.
How come it's only y'all does know? The people who never have profiles, never have, like, you can't have conversations with these people, but y'all know.
You know what? The funny thing is, not only just why you know, but why is it that only the people who already had reservations about either the virus or the vaccine
or the government?
Why is it that?
Officials.
Why is it that you always the one to get the information? Why it can't be other people getting information to change their mind?
No.
To bring it to No, okay.
I don't know. This is a wild life to live. Like, you're living a life based on. We don't even know you're living a life based on.
But the truth is, people don't live the life based on facts and logic and them things half the time.
At the end of the day, I think we just need to be more responsible.
Most people do it, to be honest.
We need to be more responsible, not only with the information that we receive, but the information we share. So be more responsible. If you get information that just doesn't seem logical to you, refrain from tapping forward. It's that's all.
Some people logic different to other people logic, you know. Like I've
experienced a lot too. A lot of people would forward things and then watch it, and then be like, "Oh, this ain't true." You know, man, what's this saying? It's ain't kids.
No, but you just get something fresh.
Okay.
You want to spread it.
There's a need for people. Well, for some reason, people feel the need to be their own mini headline news. I don't understand why it is like I don't understand that deep yearning desire to be a news outlet.
Which is basically what WhatsApp statuses are anyway. Because WhatsApp status is like your WhatsApp NN.
That will tell you WhatsApp NN. And the thing about it is like you have all these little headlines, and it's just like, bye. That's why I'm not a WhatsApp status guy. Like, I hardly post WhatsApp statuses. I trying to get into Jade on my case, but posted the link daily, and because it's so outside of my norm, like I don't forget until the show and start and we here. Because it just I don't like buying into people's like TV stations.
Listen.
Curate your content for me, please.
And it's so funny, like, you literally would get a long message that is supposed to be like a news article, and when you ask them to send you the link, they don't have the link to send you.
They don't have it.
So what are you sending me?
Or if you send them, we also have to understand that headlines are clickbait. Unfortunately, that's what the headlines have become. It's clickbait. It's to get you interested enough to click the article, and when you read it, you also find out that the headline has nothing to do with the article itself. Somebody sent us an example itself. Somebody posted, Madison, Wisconsin, fully vaccinated woman with health issues dies of COVID-19. Upon reading the article, the beginning of the article says, a Madison woman who was fully vaccinated has died of coronavirus complications. According to her sons, she had underlying health complications which made her more vulnerable to the infection. She had diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, high blood pressure, and mild dementia. She also had kidney condition for which she took steroids.
And then what can happen is somebody can see the headline and then come out and be like, the vaccine killing people, you know, I see something, I'm a Michigan woman. A Michigan woman.
Don't even start
like, is that not enough? Like, it took it took about 10 seconds at most to read that beginning, which is enough for you to understand that the vaccine played no role here.
I tell you already, we're going about this wrong. We just need to put out our own misinformation about the effects, like.
You were supposed to give us a fact today. You ain't do it for the week.
Because the truth is, I was just getting tired of stating the facts.
And then listen.
It's been a wild week.
Look here, people, especially the men, if you're having trouble in bed, all you need to do is get the second dose of your vaccine.
Problem solved.
If you can't make it to the fourth quarter, get the second dose. You don't want to get sub out the game because you're tired.
Yeah. The vaccine, so is energy?
Energy.
Okay.
Make it to the fourth quarter. Make the game winning shot.
Your life change.
I
like your facts.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah,
come on.
I like your facts.
Okay, I'm taking all credit for the increase in male participation in the vaccine program. If Dr. Wilkinson just go up and just bust a couple of them facts, right?
Easy so.
Things turn up here.
Everybody.
Yeah, I'll come back and be like, guys, hold up. We're gonna have to try and get some vaccines.
This is why you are not in charge of these things.
Yeah, they know they didn't put me in charge.
Clearly.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, we have to take a quick break, and get back with some more tea for you guys. While Azem finds another interesting fact.
Oh,
so,
just Google.
Yeah, that's true. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Portsmouth's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Portsmouth's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less with our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
Welcome back to Island Tea.
Yeah, go ahead, come on.
With your faves, and we are here, have no fear. Let's jump into some news. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about some. Yeah, we should take a pause on COVID for a second, but hold on.
Kevon, Kevon, by chance, you're messaging Rhoda?
No.
Oh,
no.
I thought that's all.
No, what it does do is that it's put the articles on reader mode, which makes it does throw away all the ads and make it more read. But it chopped up this one, so I was just kind of like, huh?
Oh, I thought it was Rhoda.
Yeah.
Had your attention, sorry.
Okay, so let's talk about this. So after a child was made to kneel on the roadside, cops then ended up removing 3 children from the home. Where is this, Jade? What country is this?
Trinidad.
So the Child Protection Unit, CPU, has removed 3 children from their home pending an investigation after one of them was made to kneel on the roadside in front of their home with his hands in the air. Head of CPU
there was a regular children from the school.
Bye.
Right?
Maybe not the roadside, but
which was horrible.
In the corridor side.
You kneel on the corridor. The head of the CPU said that the children remain in custody of a relative pending an investigation into the matter. The children are all under 12 years old and live with their mother and other relatives in a place I can't pronounce. Karapicha, Miena.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. The matter shot into the spotlight after a photo of the 10-year-old boy who's kneeling with his hands in the air went viral on social media on Tuesday. In a telephone interview, the CPU head says that they are arranging for the children to undergo psychosocial support through the Children's Authority. They said, we are investigating the reasonableness of the punishment to see whether a criminal offense occurred. saying a power probe has been launched. She also added that a child's welfare. Oh my gosh, the ads attacking me. The child's welfare is of paramount importance to us and at the CPU. Psychiatrist Dr. Varma said that she has strongly advised against public shaming of children as a form of punishment, as it could lead to depression, low self-esteem, and suicide. They also advised parents who are having a difficult time coping with their children to reach out to family members, parent groups, and support services that are available.
When will we be done away with these slavery-esque punishments?
How do we punish?
By putting children to kneel?
No, I'm asking how do we punish? Because I'm not a fan of corporal punishment either. I don't believe.
I feel like.
If you can't make your child kneel down and with the hand in the ear, like how?
What can you do?
No, I'm asking. Like I'm genuinely asking because I don't want to come off as ignorant or anything here. So I'm asking like.
Removing
because
putting the child to sit by themselves to reflect on.
Well, you see, the statement from the head of the CPU says that they are investigating the reasonableness of the punishment to see whether a criminal offense occurred. For some persons, they might say that they don't see a problem with kneeling.
Roadside.
But there's other factors to consider. The pavement.
No, because there's a shame thing to it. Remember. Yeah.
Anything can happen. It's a road. No suppose.
Come on, Jade.
What do you mean? Come on. It's a road, Azem. It's a road.
The same road the children play in, Jade. Come on.
Okay.
The same road they have to walk to go to school.
Okay. They're telling nobody would.
I would expect the pavement to be steaming hot. You could run around barefoot outside, sure, but you're in constant motion. So like kneeling on hot pavement. I don't think that sounds good to me.
The whole point was public shaming.
Why? Why do we need to public shame children under 12? They're all under 12 years old. Why do we need to publicly shame them? What's the benefit of this? What's the benefit of publicly shaming your
The same reason. You're trying to prevent a certain behavior. Right? That's the whole point. You're trying to prevent certain behaviors. Now, I ain't the one saying that what they did was right or wrong, because I don't know the severity, just like the people investigating. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, it's the same thing like, for instance, it all comes down to where you're willing to draw the line. Let's say you have a child who misbehaves on the court. So you get a report, say your child down here acting a fool, right? Me ain't expect you to go down there, bang up your child on the court, right? Me ain't expect you to bring your child back home and bang up your child at home either. But if you go down the same, but you can't tell me your child ain't shame when you come down there and hold them by the hand and pull them home, they shame too.
Yeah, but you publicly, making your children kneel down by the roadside.
So that's what I'm saying. So without knowing what was done, without knowing the exact facts of the case, because even you're saying roadside, it could be on a sidewalk, in the yard, whatever, who knows. My thing is, that's why I just ask, I just ask, what are acceptable forms of punishment?
What do you
solitude?
What do you think?
No, I ain't the one. You the one call it slavery, so I want to know.
Give me some examples of what would be appropriate to make your child kneel down by the roadside.
Jade,
if they did something like what?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't the one who called it slavery.
So I'm asking. These punishments came from back then, like these. We have a bunch of adults that went to all kind of different punishments and now all messed up. They don't trust their parents. Them and their parents have weird relationships because of the things that they were done that happened to them as a child. I don't see no justification for making your child kneel by the roadside.
Okay, fine. What I'm saying is, can you please enlighten us as to what are the appropriate forms of punishment? You tell me solitude. Put your child in a corner and let him sit down. That's what you're telling me.
That's one.
Right. So and what else?
Taking things from them that will make them realize that, okay, if I do these things that I love doing, I remove from my life.
It's like TV?
Cell phone, TV, games, tablet. We give kids all kind of things, toys, books, whatever they see as valuable to them. in that light, let them know, like, if you do these things can be removed. But like,
one of the problems I have with that is that we are the ones who entitle children, right? When we give them these things, it becomes a right. Right? It's not a matter that we place these things, or we give them these things as either rewards or as to say, well, these are, you earn the right to use these things. That's not how it's usually set up. The truth is, we give children these things because we want them to not bother us.
Point.
That's really what it is. So then when you set up the system in that way and then start taking it away, you can't tell me that you're not having the same effects that the psychiatrists just outline. Depression, anxiety, all these things.
So what is a better punishment then? Because I still can't see making your child kneel down roadside as a good punishment. I'm sorry.
So let me ask you a question. I know for a fact that children kneel down in school now. Children stand up in class. The same thing. You're shaming the child based on the actions that they would have committed. So all them things they need to stop. And then how do we, cause we ain't banging children in school no more.
We don't?
Well, I don't agree with that.
I don't
think corporal punishment is accepted. Right? Corporal punishment officially.
Somebody owe me reparations, boy.
Well, it might have been when you was in school.
That's why I said somebody owe me reparations.
Right. So you can't stand up, you can't go out on the corridor, you can't kneel down.
How do we punish kids? What's a good alternative?
Like if you're trying to tell me shame is no longer an acceptable form of punishment,
even if they have to kneel, why does it have to be roadside?
Jade,
why roadside?
So you this is my thing again. I don't know time of day. I don't know if they're kneeling in grass. I don't know if they're kneeling. I don't know. So it ain't a matter for me about.
But they're
playing the yard, Jade. By that. See, the thing is, by that logic, you can't have your children outside. You're telling me they could get knocked down. You're telling me they could get kidnapped. So they can't go outside at all. When we start pushing these worst case scenarios to try to figure out thing, like none of this in the article.
All of them are under 12. Like.
None of this in the article. Don't go bang. You think I want the parent to go bang up the child? No. You think I want the parent to starve the child and don't give them food? No. You understand? What if this is a situation where the parent is a low poverty situation? Because now if we're gonna start assuming things, then that's what I'm saying. But you're assuming that it's on some roadside on hot pavement and.
Kevon said hot pavement. I'm just saying.
I said
if we're gonna assume, suppose the poor, they ain't gonna tablet, they ain't gonna nothing, they ain't even gonna wait in the house to be alone because it's a one room house. Like we could just start assuming all kind of things.
Okay, I don't agree.
So my question is like, how are you supposed to discipline? Right? How are you supposed to discipline? And that's the problem I just have all the time when people say, you can't do that. No problem. What are you supposed to do? You understand? I have a reason. I see. My thing is, all these things supposed to be based in not an emotion. Like, yes, if I passing down the road and I see a child kneeling on the side of the road, I'm going to feel bad. I'm going to be like, why they got the child out there? I'm going to ask the same questions. But I then also understand I don't have the answers. You understand? I don't know the situation. Now, the reason I would say don't beat children, right, is because, one, a lot of the times that physical response is based on the fact that you don't know what to do. Is an emotional response. Frustration, you don't know what to do, right? Two, like, it can't be wrong in any other situation to deal with to use violence as a response, especially when there's a disparity in power, except when it's your children. So you can't tell me don't bang a woman, don't bang a dog, but bang your children. Don't tell me that shipping is there. That's me. So I telling you why I could tell you why I have a problem with corporal punishment, and me and somebody could have a debate on that based on their position, right? But half the time people just be like, oh, I can't believe she made the child go to school look so. Like, okay, fine. Let's talk about what happened, and you tell me how you would have dealt with the situation, right? Let's talk about the fact that I already make him sit down in the yard by himself for 3 hours in rain, and he take me on.
I think you're talking from personal experience at this point. Because I feel like that the punishment your parents used to give you work.
No. My father was a bangis. So we that was the thing.
Talking.
No. My father, like, actually, anybody know my father, right? No, my father is a man who likes to speak. And I'm being honest with you, I prefer the licks. If I had a choice, If I had a choice, 90% of the time, because, and this is the thing you have to understand, for me, yes, this is why, like, I've always been the person who figure out things, and for some reason I always had an appreciation for the value of time. For me, if I did something wrong, which was often, right? If I did something wrong, I preferred to get the licks that I know would cool in a matter of seconds, as much as the instant, at the instant when
the better option for you.
Yes.
Well, your parents used to be telling you also.
No, but you got, because what's gonna happen is my father sit me down. Not only that, right? Not only that. It's not only a matter of the fact that you gotta sit down and listen to him talk. He gonna make you feel so guilty and so bad about whatever it is you just don't do. You feel like you disappoint him. You feel like you're going to hell. You feel like watch your.
Wow.
But then we have a call on the line. Caller, you say Alex?
Hey, morning. Interesting. My comments are going to straddle both this discussion and the last one for obvious purposes when I talk about it. I think we have to be so careful when we read these things and what we read into them. And so that's where we're going to start with the last discussion. When we discuss things, we must be able to listen to information and not put into things what's not there. Like, for instance, Jade just said some kind of slavery thing. And that was a big assumption. And is Jade actually saying that perhaps putting somebody to kneel never happened to Africans before they came to the Caribbean? Back in, wherever, whenever. But when we hear, for instance, the authorities say that there is a case that is not travel-related and the person has been put into immediate isolation or quarantine, whatever word they use, I don't remember. And then the rigorous contact tracing is going on, and later on they say that they're working with the hotel to think. Well, it seems that people been saying, they're calling one hotel name, then the next hotel name, then they're saying something about the bus, and then they're saying she, the infected person. I don't know why they think it's a she or he. Might be fair to assume, but how do we know? That I hear that she did not take the vaccine. Again, is that a reasonable assumption? Perhaps reasonable, but don't state it like it's a fact. You don't know. People are saying things like that and making all kind of steps. All the authorities said was there's a case, not travel related, isolated, they're doing the rigorous contact tracing, and they can get back to us. That's all we know. That is all we know. And people must, as you all have said, and people must stop putting out more than what is out there. This child on the road, again, what's in it? We don't know. The authorities have said that they're investigating to consider reasonableness and so on. So, somebody said, okay, I as him said, I don't prefer corporal punishment, but why? And so on. Somebody said, well, them kind of things ain't belong, Why you putting people out on the road? What is meant by out on the road? I think Azem was asking that. What you mean by the word kneeling out on the road? We need to be clear. But then perhaps, based on what it is, that might not be so relevant, but we need to find out first. But the questions, for instance, of why is this acceptable? Shaming has been an acceptable form of motivation for a long time. You will hear us say something or do something, or you hear some people say, well, so-and-so happened. And they still continue doing that. Well, what happened? They ain't gonna shame back. And what he would say, after that, they ain't gonna shame back because he expected that having been put to shame, they would have been made motivated to cut out some undesirable behavior. Or on the other hand, sometimes you are shamed into performing some desirable behavior. So I am like you, Azem. I really not quick to do things like that. I don't, as a general rule, I never did kind of mete out a corporal punishment to my children and so on. But let's not be too quick to judge. It sounds horrible to me, just as it sounds really out there. But let's not be too quick to judge. Let us learn in this community to listen, get the facts, operate according to the facts. When you're making assumptions, be conscious that you are making assumptions, but work according to the facts. Thanks.
Thanks, Carlo.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Carlo.
you. Appreciate
and you. I do agree with some of the things that you said. I do. Well, most of the things that you said.
Yeah, and that's my whole point. Like, I don't have enough information because one,
poor kids.
This in a situation where a parent feels the need to reprimand, to punish a child, right? You do realize this is my thing too. I rather that than one, either corporal punishment or to have parents who in no way care about the actions of the child.
That's true.
You understand? That because we don't talk about that, That's what we need to talk about. The parents them let the children run wild and there's no consequences for the actions. The parents who justify everything that the children do. Oh, not my child, against my child. Like that there is a bigger issue. You are expected to function in society, right?
You think that's
so
what
when
psychopaths?
I believe it's a host of factors. Okay. But you are expected and you're supposed to be trained at home on how you're expected to function in society, right? And so don't come and tell me you have a problem with the public shaming. Like, you're supposed to function in society. When you leave here, you're going out there, a function, you're representing the teachings and everything that we're doing here. So if you go out there and you act a fool, then people are going to know, well, yeah, and you're going to know the same way you're supposed to do. My issue is that we have this thing where we don't like discomfort because everybody now is so sensitive to what people feeling, and yet punishment is supposed to provide discomfort. It's not supposed to be comfortable. There's no such thing as comfortable punishment. You understand where I'm coming from?
So much?
Jade.
Yikes.
There's no such thing as comfortable punishment, people. So like all these things about like go sit down in the chair and think about your actions, that may work for a certain type of infraction, right? But there are certain types of infraction where, for instance, just like we talk about here all the time, the punishment must match the crime.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Just like I have a problem, somebody walking around with a spliff, you take them and last them in jail. Like, no, the punishment ain't matching the crime in my mind.
No.
Right? I'm just saying, like, the punishment should match the crime. So without them kind of those kind of facts and information, Me and judge and work out this woman is a bad mother or this father is a bad father and them
she was a bad parent.
And them kind of things like
I would just agree with the punishment. I never thought she was.
But you don't know what the crime was, and you don't know all the facts about what the punishment even is. But if the person out there kneeling on a piece of cardboard, you don't know. Like you don't know.
But okay, well, the fact that they have criminal charges pending, possibly. So I don't know. You're right.
The only reason that they come up is because I went on social media.
You think so?
Yes. As a matter of fact, that's what it says in the article. And we're going based on when in the article it said it became a big thing because somebody take a picture and put it on social media.
Let me see the picture. Let me watch the picture.
I don't think
the picture in the article.
I'll go and find the picture.
Yeah, they wouldn't put it in the article.
Right. So like I just don't know.
What would have triggered this kind of reaction?
And not only that, there you take one picture, you don't know how long the child was out there. You don't know if the child. Because I'll tell you something, right? I'll give you an example. When I was teaching, I put a child to kneel down, right? I put a child to kneel down, and the child out there enjoying himself, right? Except for when other teachers passing. When other teachers passing, is the saddest face. I'm rubbing my knees like, Lord, I'm gonna get dead. But when other students passing,
it's a party.
Hey, we're gonna have you by like, I mean, I'm to heal you.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I forget kids can be terrible.
That's just part of how it is. Like I was the same way.
Yeah.
I watched it Mavex because I would be doing the same thing. I remember. Big up Miss. What's your name was again?
When the students pass by and you in punishment, it's vibes. But when you have to look like the punishment affecting you put on the acting.
Let me tell you something. I had a history teacher. Put me out one time on the corridor. I was talking in class or whatever. Like I used to just bang my mouth all the time.
That's why you're doing it now.
Yeah. You see, that they didn't realize it was all preparation.
Same. I used to get in trouble for talking all the time.
But so I get put out on this is a history class. So I get put out on the corridor, right? Asked to kneel down. And I decided that was the perfect time to break into a rendition of Bob Marley's Emancipate Yourself from Mental Slavery redemption song. It just seemed fitting. They think they were alright to just come out and burn my scuff.
Good song choice though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I commend you. You had taste from young.
That's what I'm saying. I should have been a DJ.
You had taste from young.
Close enough.
No, but then but bear in mind that now the punishment ain't working the way she expect it to work. So now she got to send me to the office. I out the class, I just singing redemption song. I feel oppressed.
You know what, let's go to a break so we can talk to we get here because Azem, wow.
Third farm on the corridor.
You probably used to stress out them teachers.
And it was in the afternoon, so the sun coming off the west, hitting the corridor. You understand? Oppression. You want to talk about slavery? Jade, let's take a break.
If you own or work with animals, please follow these tips to avoid getting the coronavirus. Please keep pets away from areas where you are preparing food and eating your meals. Thoroughly wash your hands after handling animals and animal waste. Avoid contact with sick or stray animals. And always remember to wear protective gowns, gloves, and facial protection when handling them. As the novel coronavirus spreads, it is important that you continually disinfect your home. Viruses can gather on surfaces such as doorknobs, computer keyboards and mouse, cell phones, tablets, railings, kitchen and bathroom countertops, and remote control devices. To avoid transfer of viruses, wipe down these surfaces regularly with disinfectants such as Clorox, Lysol wipes, or soap and water. Avoid touching your face or your loved one's faces after touching any of these types of surfaces. It is very easy for viruses to be transferred in this way. When preparing food, be sure to use different knives and cutting boards for raw meats and cooked foods. Wash your hands before and after handling raw meats. Also, wash your hands before and after using cooked food. Be sure to cook food thoroughly before eating it. This is a message from the Ministry of Health and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem, featuring Jade, Gwen Johnson.
Question code.
And it,
can someone please bring some spinach to the studio for Jade, please? She always cold. I think she need build up she iron. If you got some collards in your garden,
I like bok choy too.
Bok choy, spinach, any of that, reach out to Jade, please. I'm sure she'd be very grateful.
Yeah, man, I love beans. I don't know why it's not working, but you know.
No, you need more.
just take some iron. That's all. Some iron tablet.
We like the natural things here.
Man, don't put them things in the body.
Oh boy! But Kevon, we have a special guest in studio.
Mm-hmm. So it's time to welcome on Eat Local. Jade, you'll never get espresso to me. But it's time to introduce our guest, Jeezy Sparta. Welcome and good morning.
Yes, good morning to everybody. You don't know it's a boy, Jeezy Sparta, aka the Gothic King.
Ah,
so
yeah.
Why about to introduce him when he showed me up with that?
Just let him introduce himself.
But yeah, guys, we have Jeezy Sparta with us here on Island Tea, and I know he has a special exclusive for us here this morning. But Jeezy, before we even get into that, tell the folks listening a bit about yourself.
Well, everybody know me in the soca arena play a dark side of soca. Well, everybody play the good side, so. My style of music now is a different thing. What brings joy to me? I like dark music. I can't be like other artists and them kind of things. They just want to be different. So I use a different format now to show people, I could do it. And I got the ability to do anything I want. When I set my mind to do something, I could do it.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that always, interests me about you and your music is I think you actually coined the phrase gothic soca artist.
Yeah.
I've never heard that a day in my life. Azem said it to me and I was like, huh?
You never hear that, Jane? Me and you went washy, but now you have to play the side there yet.
Yes, we got washy one time.
Yes, shit.
But yeah, Jeezy has a unique approach to soca. And the thing about it for me is that I appreciate it because it's different. Like simply because it's different and it's unique. It you get the same soca vibe where you jump up and you think, but the phrasing doesn't feel like you're just recycling the same concepts over and over and over again, right? But Jeezy, you've been involved in music, the soca for some time now. We've seen you competing in the soca monarchs.
Yeah, man.
For years, not only here in St Kitts but also in Nevis.
Yeah.
But when did you kind of start on your musical journey? Because I want to believe it might not have been soca from the start.
No. I started to sing Calypso was my first time doing it in Washi. That was 2000 when I sing the song Give the Youths a Break, and I sing a song about Mommy, you're breathing like a guinea pig. Do you remember that song? Mommy, you really must be stupid, cause every man you deal with, you're breathing like a guinea pig. That was my first. That song that crack up the whole school.
I just hope you ain't calling him.
Yes, other people radio early in the morning.
Love it. Love it. But so you started out in Calypso.
Yeah, and then in 2014, that was the first time I make soca finals in St Kitts. We wrote after the song called Teach Me Style. And then I went on and on, reached Nevis, compete over there for 3 years, straight final. In 2019, in St Kitts, I had the biggest soca song, everybody know that, Sugar Mask Calling Me. I don't understand what were the judges listening to or what they were looking for. I changed my style. Everybody say, Jeezy, why you going in demon style all the time? Why you don't try something different? So I tell them, okay, they're going to bring a new style for them. Give them Sugar Mask Calling Me. The biggest song hitting all over the Caribbean right now, all in Miami, all over you could call right now. That song they're banging. So I don't know what the problem was, and then I come back again with Gothic Wine.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, the Gothic Wine just mashing up the place right now, so just gotta look out for the video and them thing there on YouTube, and yeah, the thing will go on, man.
Yeah, but you know, maybe that's something that we could try and explain, because I think people would ask you the question, people would trying to figure out, well, what kind of inspired you to carve out your own lane in soca with the with the Gothic style as you phrase it.
Okay.
And explain it for us.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with everybody. The reason why I chose that, remember I'm a Sparta fan. I listen a lot of Tamil Sparta music. So I use some of his catchphrase them, but might not sound the same as him, but I can use it in my style and capture people here. Because anywhere on the street you go, you really hear everybody say, Sparta, I know! Uncle there and them kind of thing there. So all them kind of thing now when I use them in my song, people gonna gravitate to them.
Right.
As I'm showing you now with the song called Sugar Mask Calling Me, when I drop that song, people still can't believe we missing it, because everybody done accustomed to hearing the dark voice, and you know how we go after it.
Right.
So once I use a symbol there, everybody don't know who the person be singing that song.
Right.
So I could just go on the stage, do a song or record a song, everybody gonna be listening enough to hear, I know, evil and that kind of thing. They don't know who coming.
Right.
I ain't use none of them things there. Nobody will know it's me.
Right. So you use it as a way to differentiate yourself in the soca. And it really just come out of an inspiration behind one of your favorite artists, who was Jeezy Sparta out of Jamaica.
Yeah, man, and he always tell me just keep doing what I gotta do, same still check.
Yeah, because you had the opportunity to meet him, right?
Twice, yeah, man.
Oh, nice.
When he come here the second time, he tell them, man, watch, we ain't partying until Jeezy Sparta come. Real time, I'm not gonna lie on that there. Straight thing, man.
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to perform with Jeezy Sparta, you know, member of the Bacchanal School and backing him up.
With the vibes with Sparta touch the stage, dark style, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And it's and you know what it is too? There's very few artists in St Kitts, and I could say this because I think even other artists would recognize and give him his props, that there's very few artists that have the same level of the work ethic that Jeezy have. Jeezy really sang all year round,
yeah, man.
right? Jeezy release song every year. When it come to practice, Jeezy is a man calling you. Yo, when it's practice. You don't design this practice yet? Show tonight is practice? Like, what time? Okay, we show the time. Like,
on the right path.
Yeah, like.
A lot of artists don't do that.
I'm telling you.
No work ethic.
And you see the problem I got with some artists here, right? They will release a song. They're only going to be basing and St Kitts. They ain't going to try to say, but let me try to get it out there.
Right.
Different DJ. I go on social media. You might go on Facebook and you see a man named DJ Azem. You click it and say, yo, other artists in St Kitts, you would like to get me music? That's how you could get your song out there. Because first thing the DJ going to say, okay, then send me your music.
Right.
And then they're going to play it. All like Glenbo, Stanman, all them man out there. Them man step pushing Jeezy Sparta music out there.
Well, I must say, I have seen some of your songs reaching on the large radio list.
Yeah, man.
Stanman's list for hottest soca in the region.
Yeah, man.
And I think a lot of times, it's unfortunate, but sometimes you get a little more recognition outside than in your own country.
That's how it feels like. That's the only way for you to actually be seen as an actual artist.
But what we see a lot though is that, like Azem just said, when you're supposed to be pushed locally, nobody taking you on. But when you blow up internationally, suddenly everybody in you and say, yes, St Kitts product.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But Jeezy, you have a new release, a new song that you're gonna be putting out to the world. Tell us a bit about this song.
Well, this one we call Have a Nice Day, produced by my father, King Sakroti.
Oh, so that the Calypso thing come?
Yeah, it's a Calypso by he. So that's why you see any Calypso song you say I do, you have to go a jumpy to it. I cannot go sing a slow tempo song.
Right. Oh,
that's not my thing.
I don't know if I tell you this, but one of my favorite songs for Sugar Mass 20 was Jeezy song, right? The first time I heard it, I couldn't stop laughing when he said, "He just giving you rope to hang yourself."
Yeah. Rope I was giving you, all the game you were playing me. I had she number already, yeah.
That was one of my favorite songs for Sugar Mass 2020. But yeah, you're telling us about Have a Nice Day.
Yeah, Have a Nice Day. Come by him because he tell me come by him one afternoon. I went. That was Wednesday when he said I gotta beat you. I don't got this song, but I want you to listen to it and tell me how you feel about it. I say, any beat is any beat. Just give me the words and I will do it. And then I went the Thursday, get the paper with the words and I had to go the Friday to record it.
Wow.
So I just went in the studio. Me the man, when you give me a song to learn, I will learn it.
Mm-hmm.
You give me the flow. Your flow might not be my style, but I'll do it in my pattern.
Right.
To get
you make it your own, right?
Yeah. So I just listened it, went in the studio the same Friday night, went there, just do my thing and then just done.
Right.
I said, new style as Jeezy Sparta again. As some artists that use one style all the time, I don't do that. I come with something different every time. That's why they call me the Gothic King. Yeah.
Boy,
yeah, man.
boy.
So we're gonna go ahead and play this song. Jeezy, introduce this song for the people.
Yeah. I want everybody to have a nice day today. That's what the song basically talking about. Have a nice day. Run it, no man, no waste it.
It's your boy, Jeezy Sparta, the Gothic King, in the studio with King Socrates. It's all about the respect, what you give and expect to get. Whether you my neighbor or a total stranger, Mama used to tell me that it shouldn't matter. Hello and good morning, that should be my greeting. And before you walk away, don't forget to say, have a nice day. I want you to say, have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. A nice day. Even little children, it's so nice to hear them with their morning greetings every time they pass it. So we as big people should set the example. You know how it feels when someone says to you, have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. A nice day. Hail up to the hygiene. Hail up to the sister. Hail up to the neighbor. Whoever you are, have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Yeah. Have a nice and courtesy, lacking in humanity. That's why half the world is in this unity. But here in SKN, it is so common to say to your sister and to your brethren, have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. A nice day. It's all about the respect. What you give, you will get. It's all about the respect. What you give, you will get. It's all about the respect.
Alright, and that was Have a Nice Day by Jeezy Sparta. Now, Jeezy, you were saying that this song was produced and written by King Socrates himself?
Yes.
Alright, nice. And it only took you, what, like 3 days from the time you heard the beat to when it was recorded?
Yeah.
Wow. So, well, is the song on any of the streaming platforms or YouTube or anything yet?
Should be up to them. We'll be putting them up on Facebook, YouTube, and the social medias and them things.
Well, let people know your social media so they could find you.
Well, on Facebook, it's Jeezy Sparta Lynch, YouTube, Jeezy Sparta, Instagram, Jeezy Sparta 31.
Alright, nice. So encouraging people to go out and like and subscribe to his pages, and really just get an idea of the types of songs that he has, because like you said, it's different style every time.
Yeah, different style. This one here, this Have a Nice Day, it got a little calypso soca. We put it like that, a calypso soca style.
Yeah, but I think that is interesting to hear the transitions in what you're doing, and you have any plans for where you wanna go next?
Well, the plan I have right now is to get on the outside. Well, right now, people on the outside begging me hard. They want me reach out there because they want the performance.
I think I see somebody from St. Thomas was sitting up or something, yeah.
Because they say here in St. Kitts, me ain't getting the forward we're looking. Me ain't getting that encouragement.
Right.
They know if I go out there, it's going to be a bigger atmosphere. See, people like give me the love and them thing there, you know? But here in St. Kitts, we got a lot of fight down. I don't know why we get the fight down, because watch it like this. You got a lot of artists here. Why you one set of artists over and over and over? So you're trying to show me now all them kind of artists to eat. The rest man, them who trying to build a little confidence in themselves. You can't get them on a little gig, like a little 5-10 minutes and they still let them man come out and show their talent. We got a lot of fight down here. So that's why I tell people, I based on the house, I don't really study about St. Kitts and giving them music and them because they will just play it when Carnival come. After that, it's dead. Nobody will hear it again.
Well, I mean, that seems like to be one of the thing with soca music in general, right? That
we play too much Trinidad music, man. We need to play with own. The people gonna hear. Every day you're gonna dance, oh, you're hearing this Trinidad song. Yo, that's why I don't gonna dance now there. Into them thing there. Yeah, they can hear Trinidad and I think it's that music. Come on, man, push your own thing, man.
Yeah. And the truth is, like, when you do have those DJs that would push it, it always sell off, eh? It always turn up the party.
Yeah, but the thing is now, I'm sure about the DJs them. They don't buy and say, oh, we here don't give them the music. We does give them, but who tell you they're gonna play them? They don't play them. They play who they want. They want you come and say, "Barry, who will $100 in your pocket?" No, I don't deal so. You come to me, you say, "Jeezy, give me a song. Let me push it. If you're gonna do it, do it.
Right.
Don't come tell me I gotta pay you to play a song, brother." Meaning to them thing there.
I got you. But I mean, hopefully, over time, and like you said, sometimes it's a matter that you have to get the recognition somewhere else. They say dance abroad before you dance a yard, right?
That's true.
Right, so sometimes that is the route that some artists have to take, and that's just how it is. Hopefully that changes, but we will have to see how that goes. But we're gonna actually have to wrap up soon. But what if we just play one of your other songs? Any in particular? I know you spoke about Gothic.
Yeah, man, Gothic way, man. The girls them love that song, man.
All right, well, give the people an intro with this one here.
You don't know this one we call Gothic wine. I want all the Spartan Gothic wine. Make the face some Gothic style, girl. Back the thing up on this side and play that one right on time. Run it.
She got the wine.
song for Friday, boy.
Yeah, boy, that's a Friday song for real. But yeah, this is the song that you actually released this year, earlier this year.
Yeah, man.
I know this rhythm had a
big up 2 seconds, you know, that the 2 seconds that the Tantan rhythm.
Yeah, because I know
the artists them want it same say big up Chubby.
Yeah, because I know this was one that especially Miami.
But yo,
Miami
load the song. I show you the big cheese song them and that there. Got it going, you got cut them off and push it back. Them song they bang out there right now.
Yeah, I know for a fact. I follow some people who live in like Houston, Atlanta, some of them Kittian centers, and when I see them have the parties, like, you know, these are some.
Really well,
the Tantan for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, so you're encouraging people just so people remember. Let them know exactly where they could reach you, whether to see exactly what you have coming up or to book you for events or anything like that.
Yeah, any bookings, you check me. I'm 760-6215, or I can contact my manager, that's Alicia. Yeah, so that's how we do it. You want a dub, you link one out of the two of us, we give the dub them one time.
All right then, nice. Well, Jeezy, man, it's been a real pleasure.
Yeah,
and I want to wish you the best on your journey.
Yeah.
Continued success. Let's say if so come on out this year, I know you're there, meaning that I ask a question.
Right now, working on something for Nevis too right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I got a song that coming called Caribbean Vibes, just waiting for Chubby to get the finishing touch.
Nice.
So I got big up Chubby, my writer, Kevon. Them two main writers. But Kevon is the man behind the darkness.
Right.
I think they're supposed to light up, but you don't know everybody the one who don't write the dark music.
No, you're going to have people watching Ketty like,
no.
But it's happy music you be singing when
that's true. But you gotta be different. Remember, you got people who do different things. You gotta show them.
Right.
You gotta push their talent a different way. And Stickle too. Nobody in Stickle could build dark music. It's Stickle is the man who make the music them too.
Right.
And Stickle said, Jeezy is one man I rate in this thing here. You always know what you want. Some artists will just come and they know what they want. You gotta go hot up your head and them kind of thing. I don't know what you want in my music.
Right.
Because my music dark. Yeah, man.
Well, you know, like I said, man, continued success on your journey, and looking forward to the fresh music. Guys, remember, go check out his social media. Hit him up for anything, man. Say if you want any dubs,
yeah, man,
hit him up and we'll run it straight. But watch you know, it's Friday. It's Friday.
Finally.
Bye.
Finally. What the longest week in history has come to an end.
No party.
But guess what, right?
Not
party or not, I glad for the little half.
So it's a Tuesday?
Huh?
See you Tuesday.
Yeah, it's just Tuesday. I'm Monday.
On our anniversary. Oh my gosh, and we have no plans.
No man, we got plans. We got little plans. We
have plans.
But you tell, and that's the plans where you tell us gone in.
Minimum.
But guys, yeah man, it's been a real pleasure. This week has been good. We had some really good interviews this week, I think. And the community online, as always, joining us. Big up all the people who messaged my phone during the show, even though they only hit back after half the time. Really appreciate you guys tuning in daily, and I really appreciate you guys' comments. Those of you who share the links, really appreciate you. All those who listen on radio daily, whether it is in your office, in your vehicle, on the street.
At your job, because your boss making everybody listen to ILNT.
And places you shouldn't be listening. So, love it.
And if your boss not putting on ILNT between 8 and 10 on a weekday morning,
they really love you.
I think you guys need to file a formal complaint.
Radio.
Yeah, formal complaint.
Yeah.
Formal complaint.
Talk to somebody.
Yeah. I mean, this is Mental Health Month, so
it's better than ILNT for your mental health.
Yeah, even though we just start with the darkness, everybody.
But we end on a good note, okay?
Always.
And safe. Do the right thing. That's all we gotta do, man.
Jeezy for the win. but guys, as Jeezy said, this is a long weekend. Be safe. We don't want to hear any reports of anything getting too crazy, any accidents, anything like that. Be safe on the road. Deal with people with love. Deal with people with grace. Take rest when you need it. Don't push just because. Take rest when you need it, and really enjoy the weekend as much as possible. I think Jade's still hoping that That.
Nope, I'm not.
Okay, well that dead. That dead. But yeah, guys, remember like us on Facebook, WINNmedia SKN, YouTube, WINNmedia SKN as well. But on Instagram, you could check us directly, Island T SKN. Those of you who listen on Twitch, those of you who listen on Periscope, we see you. Big up yourself one time. Remember, if you can't make it to the fourth quarter, go get a vaccine.
Take me off the radio. Kevon, take us off the radio. That's it, I am done with this.
Kevon, the Slim God himself. The man for Rhoda. Prosecco Papi, take us out, please.
Remember, you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. See you on Tuesday because I'm not coming in here on Monday.